lock it in. Yeah, it's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in, lock it in. Yeah, it's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in. Are you ready to be entertained, educated? A little stimulation for your brain. Lock it in. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to laugh? Are you ready to love? Then lock it in, lock it in. Yeah, it's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in, lock it in. Yeah, it's the Joe Lockett Show. Lock it in, lock it in. It's the Joe Lockett Show.
Welcome into the JLS. It is the Joe Lockett Show. I am nephew, he is I, and I am him. Okay, and you're tuning into the Joe Lockett Show, bro. We got a lot of stuff to get into, but before we do all of that, I do want to remind you of the housekeeping rules. Make sure that you do like, share, and subscribe to the show. That goes a long way to keeping yourself clean, keeping your house in order, and locking it in. You feel me? You know what it is? It's JLS. Don't forget. Wear it like a brand. You feel me? Now, with that being said, we are also on the LIM network, so make sure that you do follow and like and share and comment on all of those platforms too. Shout out to the Facebook, shout out to the Instagram, shout out to the YouTube, shout out to Twitch. We were streaming this weekend. Shout out to y'all over there on Twitch with the LIM gaming. You feel me? We're shooting back and forth with my guy T. So shoot. You feel me? Make sure that if you're tuned into us over there on Twitch, that you do follow and you stream us out over there on Twitch. We got a lot of stuff we getting into. Finna get into some other games. Hopefully some Nintendo games soon. So if you're nerdy like me, make sure that you do tune in to those too. Now, speaking of games, we gotta introduce the guy that's gonna be playing a lot of them. Because I'm not gonna lie, we got too much to get into today. Okay. So without further ado, we gotta go ahead. Man of the hour.
What up? How y'all doing? I got my friend Tisha on here. She said she was in Vegas this weekend. Said it was the bomb.
What? Oh, so she was. Hey, we gonna talk about Vegas, dog. Oh, we gonna talk about Vegas.
You was in Vegas with Tisha?
No, I wish I was. Vegas was lit. Vegas was lit this weekend.
No.
Vegas was lit this weekend.
Well,
shout out Tisha.
Well, fuck both of y'all, cause I was here.
Look, why are you saying? What are you saying? Oh, I ain't in Vegas.
Hey, but you acting like you was there with her. So
no, I just know what was going on in Vegas.
How you know what she was doing?
I don't know what was going on. Did I say anything about Tisha?
You acting like you already know. Yeah, cause she like it was.
It was.
Yeah, like
Vegas was lit.
You saying the same shit she said.
Look, we're gonna talk about it. Anyway, how was your weekend? It was Easter.
You did. I'm going next time though.
What? Oh,
she said she tried to take me.
Oh. Maybe she did. But you wouldn't have liked it. If we on the same page, you probably
went with Tisha, would have liked it.
No, you probably wouldn't. Tisha probably would have loved it, but you wouldn't like it. If we talking about the same thing that was going on in Vegas.
No, I don't know what you.
That's what I'm saying. If we talking about the same thing going on in Vegas,
it was her birthday.
Oh, happy belated! Happy belated! Shout out Tisha. It was also my dad's birthday over the weekend too. So
yeah. If you seen her and you was
you just enjoy being around her, right? It not smelling. That's crazy.
That's wild. Just the ambiance, bro.
So you smelling her or the ambiance? Which one?
All of it. She a package, bro. She a baddie now. She a baddie.
Well, shout out Tisha. I mean, might as well get her a happy birthday, right?
Happy birthday. Go ahead and get Tisha happy birthday. Get her birthday.
I will. Again, also happy birthday to my dad. Shout out,
happy birthday, Pops.
Oh man, you feel me? He almost with you. I was messing with him on that.
He 44, 48, 49?
47.
I got a minute.
Yeah.
He got a minute. He cool.
Yeah, but I mean, he the old man. I'm still gonna mess with him.
He chilling.
Now we got a lot of relationship stuff to get into.
Okay.
We can, particularly on the single and non-single. Got some sports to get into because sports was crazy.
HR baby, hey y'all, do me a favor and wish my friend Letitia Wilson happy birthday, y'all. It's her birthday. If y'all on the chat,
shout out HR Bay too. Shout out.
Male in the house.
But yeah, man, we got sports to get into.
I don't even know who her name is Letitia. I don't know who the hell that is. But anyway,
huh?
I don't never.
Why point them out if you don't know?
No, I know her, but I don't know if she's going by her government name. I don't know her government name.
Oh, yeah,
I know her by her nickname, and I call her T. So when I see Letitia, I have to remember it's her.
Oh, T is fine.
Yeah, I call her T. You know what I'm
saying? But yeah, we got some cases to get into. Some that settled and some that might just blow up. So we got to get into a whole bunch of stuff. Let me make sure I get this pulled up on this end before we get it.
Man, the cameras are finally working today when I'm on. What about that?
Don't jinx it now.
Shit.
Don't jinx it now. You blink too hard. Yeah, you take this thing out. All right. Without further ado.
What's up, D? D's in the house.
Shout out D. Shout out D. She finally graced us with her presence when she's not on the date.
She got, the D be pulling, leave it up to her. She's the baddest thing out there.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go on with our live entertainment. Without further ado, here they are.
It's Cliffhanger.
Love it. I just love it.
All righty. Now, first things first, got to get into some sports, okay? Now, we had a very, 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 very lit weekend in sports. I'm going to get into the basketball, and I'm also going to pull up wrestling, all right? Because those is what was trending over the whole weekend. So, without further ado, got to get into the basketball first. Cue my themes. I told y'all playoff basketball is going to get stupid, boy. Oh my goodness. Shout out to the playoffs starting on a great note. All right. I only got two downsides that I don't think is going to end up keeping a downside. You feel me? So all I say is for those games that was literally non-competitive, give it some time, let it cook. Okay. Because they're young. They're young and dumb and they don't really know where they at right now. And they're going against professionals. Okay. Now, first things first, Golden State Warriors versus the Rockets. That's one of the games I was tuning into. I really was only tuned into 3 games because I wanted to see where they was coming from. I wanted to see if previous champions would get up to their pedigree that they were before versus a young buck that's ready and hungry. And the Golden State Warriors, for all intents and purposes, went and humbled the Rockets. Now, not to say that the Rockets did bad. They fell through at the end of the game, but that showed just how unprepared and really how young they is in championship time. You feel me? When it gets sweaty and it's not the regular season end of the game, it's the playoffs where they really mean more than they did before. They show their age. So shout out to the Golden State Warriors. I am very interested in that series. We went into overtime with the Clippers and the Nuggets. I believe this is going to go at least 6 or 7 legit games. That was an incredible game to watch. Shout out to the Nuggets. Shout out to the Clippers.
Clippers pulled that out, didn't they?
No, they lost. They lost. Jamal Murray back. That boy is a problem. And I love him, but Kawhi Leonard fell off at the end. He fell off at the end. That's very uncharacteristic for him. If you're watching all of the sports shows, that's nothing I do expect to stay the same. Now I do want to say though, James Harden balled his butt out. Zubac actually went back and forth with a Jokic, which I did not see coming at all. I figured they was gonna get their points, but Jokic is Jokic, and Zubac, he been playing good, but he's not MVP. But he has been balling out. So I do fully expect that to go to length. that is a great team. They going back and forth with everywhere. Russell Westbrook saved the day because they would have lost and he didn't make a shot. So he was coming out in the clutch too. Shout out to them. And the Knicks, lastly, the Knicks, they showed Detroit, stop playing with me. The Knicks is that I don't want them to be acting like they moving on and looking for the Celtics, but the way it's looking right now, I don't know if I'm looking at this to go 5 games. I don't know if I am. The Detroit Pistons look like they played a little bit above their head, and now they're getting a little bit more humble. So playoffs, if you into the basketball like I am, bro, I am very much interested to see how these is going to plan out. It is the first round. We ain't even in the June yet, but it's looking very, very, very interesting. So that's my placement on that. You got anything you want to say before we move on?
No.
Nope. All righty. Now, to move on, got to send a congratulations out to what most folks consider the GOAT of wrestling, Mr. John Cena. Congratulations, sir. You have passed Ric Flair and other superstars, whichever ones you want to count, for the most world championships ever. All right. He is what they have deemed now the GOAT of wrestling. I tuned in. I know this ain't really your cup of tea right here, but I did have to say, I was fairly happy with somebody that grew up on this, seeing Buddy finally pass Ric Flair. That's literally the Kareem number that he just passed, which is why this is a big occasion. So shout out to those that tune in with the WWE and see how interesting it's getting now. They finally got the luchadors. They brought out the luchadors. They got half of the MMA folks going back and forth. They was all through the Pat McAfee show. Shout out to Pat McAfee. He was there too. Yo, it was amazing. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what they do with his storyline. And I'm very excited to see what he's gonna do, because he's never really played. If you tune into this, he's never played the bad guy. He's always played the good guy that just does good things. He's finally playing a heel, is what they call in WWE sports. He's playing the heel persona, where he's coming off, he's saying bump the fans, he cussing, he going air. Well, man is wild. I can't wait to see where his storyline go and see when he goes and finally retires in December.
Thank you for the gift.
So shout out to that.
Sugar Pop. Thank you.
Shout out to that. Now, next up, got to get into some lawsuits. Now
Thank you for the gifts.
before we get into new lawsuits, let's talk about a few that seems to be settled. Okay. So records have now placed Drewski in Georgia during his alleged assault allegation they tried to put on him with Diddy in 2018. Yeah. They went ahead and put that to bed. Buddy was clearly in Georgia because he got records from a Georgia bank. Now, the altercation, if you remember, happened in some part of California. If I'm not mistaken, it was San Fran. Yeah, it's clear he wasn't there. So it's looking like that case is gonna fall through. Shout out to Drewski. I'm with everybody else in his fan base that believed this was a bunch of BS, because we didn't know nothing about Drewski until at least 2020. and like commercially.
Thank you, Sugar.
You feel me? Now he was bubbling up. I don't want to take that away. In 2019, he was bubbling up, but everybody didn't really know about Drewski until the pandemic. So, shout out to Drewski. Can't wait to see when this is dropped, because that's what it's looking like. Anything from you before I move on?
No.
Nope. Gotcha. Now another person that seemed to catch a case. Another person to seemingly catch a case is Uncle Shannon. Uncle Shannon, bro. He called another one. Well, I don't want to say another one because it's probably the first, right?
The first one I done heard, yo.
Yeah. Y'all always do fact check us, but I don't think he caught any other case.
No.
So according to TMZ, Uncle Shay Shay, Mr. Shannon Sharp, there has been a woman from Nevada, and now that I'm reading this, it does look like some bullshit. I am so tired of this last name. Miss Jane Doe from Nevada is accusing Mr. Shannon Sharp of sexual assault on multiple times at the end of 2024 into the beginning of 2025. The woman claims that she met Shannon in a gym in 2023 when she was 20 years old. She says that he pursued her and reportedly calling, texting, and demanding she come to his Beverly Glen mansion on two alleged times to enter into a consensual relationship. However, she described their relationship as controlling and verbally abusive. Attorney Tony Bugsby, he also is representing this woman. He demands multiple complete control and time over her body, expecting yada yada yada. Please read through the rest. I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm not mistaken, this is the same person that put Jay-Z out.
Yeah.
This is the same person that put I'm forgetting the other celebrity. She's been very vocal on how many times in how many places she's been alleging things happen to her. Again, believe victims, I guess. But makes sense.
I'm gonna say everything she said is true.
You gonna say everything she said is true?
Because it sounds like, that's what Shannon Sharp is, a controlling guy. I'm gonna say it's true, but here's the thing that I'm gonna say. She said consensual, right? And so Shannon Sharp
said it was supposedly consensual.
No, it was no supposedly. It's not, it is or not. You went to his house, and I'm not victim blame or anything like this here, but I'm gonna say this: when you saw him and knew who he was, and you got a chance to get in his presence, he told you what he expected, right? That's exactly what you did. Let's not play, right? And now at the end of the day, some kind of way you talking to people and you saying 50, you hoping you can get 100,000, you hoping you can get $1 million or whatever, right? You know what I'm saying? This is a shakedown, bro. This is why you heard Shannon say a lot of times, man, I don't leave my house, right? And so this man probably got cameras and everything up in his house, so he maybe show everything. And I'm quite sure she probably signed something, because being of the stature that he is, and like I said, I've just listened to him when he was doing some of his, when he especially was on, I think it was Ocho, was doing the nightcap, and when things didn't go his way and how furious he got. Oh, he's a very demanding guy, bro.
And he said that he has them do that.
Yeah.
I remember that episode because he was talking with what's the name about it?
Yeah,
with Prime.
Yeah, he
like,
don't.
Man, I got these girls, they signed off on me.
Yeah. He don't play. You know what I mean? So you know what you're getting when you get with Shannon Sharp. Now, don't get mad later on when you see him doing something with somebody else, and now you want to come after him for some type of money. And I think that's a lot of time what's happening. Hey, Rich, how you doing, baby? It's sad, I think, when you see this kind of stuff going on in social media, when you have women, and I don't know why women do this, because you're okay when the money is there, right? And I don't want to, say, victims and, talk bad about, anybody that really had something happen to them. But we see this too many times where it's just a money grab. Because
and you end up settling. Because
if you are that person and this was a real issue with you, and people are like, well, it takes time for you to come out. Yeah, it does. It does. But my whole thing is, if you're going to put this man on blast, put yourself on blast too. Don't be a Jane Doe.
And that's the other part.
You know what I'm saying?
Your name has been popping up a little bit too much.
Put your name to whatever you're going to do with this and be done with it. And I sound like an asshole when I say this, because there are women who go through this stuff and things really happen to them. And I'm not talking about any woman that's been abused or misused in any type of relationship and a man has done something wrong to them. Not talking about that. But there are too many times now where men are getting themselves in situations, bro, especially men that got that paper, right? and women are coming after them later on for whatever reasons to try to get a quick lick. And I think that's some bullshit. So, hey, shun the shop, man. Stick with your dogs. Stay at home. Stay on camera. You know what I mean? And keep paying Michelle. You know what I mean? Stay with Michelle. Bro.
Michelle putting it down.
So, stay with Michelle, bro. Stay with Michelle.
If anything, we remember Michelle. Man, yeah. Make sure you call her up.
Yeah, stay with Michelle, bro. Because sometimes you guys stay in your own circle. I mean, like, even with, as we're growing and doing what we're doing, bro, I don't want to get outside my circle too much, man, because when it's good, it's good. But when a woman get jealous, or I said, when a woman's fed up, you know what I
mean? Ain't nothing like a woman scorn, ain't that what it say? Or something like
that. That part. So
ain't no pure like
woman. And Shannon Sharp is one of the biggest things in social media right now, podcasting wise and all that stuff. And they also said he probably about to get a $100 million deal because his contract is probably almost up with the old boy.
Oh, probably is an understatement. He definitely doing that.
Yeah, so
he definitely doing that.
Yeah, so he's about to get a rack up on the money in podcasting. So shout out to Shannon Sharp. Unfortunately, you always have this kind of stuff that pops up on you. So wish my man the best.
Yeah. But yeah, as soon as I read the name, I was like, yeah, this is BS. This is BS. I ain't even now do want to do
exactly sugar.
Do want to give out a congratulations to Mr. Cat Williams down there in Cincinnati. He's got a street named after him. So let me get the applause on that. It was real dope. They had a whole gathering. They brought him out. They dedicated I think it was the street that he grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
They dedicated that to him, calling it the Cat Williams Way.
Okay.
So shout out with them on that.
I'm gonna get Lock It In Avenue.
Lock It In that. Shut up.
I'm gonna get Lock It In Avenue. When my street Avenue, I want mine called Lock It In Avenue.
You made me sick. Shut up.
I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
I know exactly where I want my street sign. I know exactly where I want my street sign.
That's the inside joke y'all are not gonna ever understand. Shut up.
A few people maybe listen to the show may get that.
Very few. Yeah. Probably the few that do know probably won't get it till later.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my goodness.
I want my street to be named Lock It In Avenue.
Lock It In Ave.
Yeah,
Lock It In Ave.
Yeah.
Now let's get this one out the way first. Want to send condolences out to to the Francis family and the Catholic faith. Pope Francis, he passed away
the day after Easter.
Yeah, the day after Easter. That's been making news in a lot lately. Unfortunately, behind a little of the angles. First and foremost, I do want to say condolences to the Francis families and the faith. I hate that it's getting tied in with what's going on right now, because he was last seen with making a public appearance anyway with JD Vance.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate when I like mess. Don't get me wrong. I love it, especially when it has nothing to do with me. It's fun to watch and look at. I don't like mess when it's mixed in with the faith. And I also don't like the faith getting mixed in with politics. Now, if you know anything about church and even the Bible, politics has been around since the beginning of time. So it's not too much that you can differentiate between the two. Why I say that, JD Vance in the last appearance of the Pope, he was there with him. And a lot of social media is equaling that to there was a bad omen. He did a nasty vibe. They're trying to call him the Antichrist because he dropped off the Pope. I don't like that. As messy and as dirty as I can get, that's also somebody's family, regardless of how you view it or how seriously you take the faith. I ain't Catholic, but I'm not also going to walk around and act like, oh, you could just say everything like it should be lighthearted.
The Pope is off limits for me.
The Pope is off limits for you.
Yeah, the kids, Pope, stuff like that. That's off limits to me. I don't.
I take the kids a little bit more serious, but I'm not. Like I said, I don't, out of respect of people that really is about the
regardless
faith,
of what faith
I
you are, people
I don't
always
play
have.
like that.
No matter what faith or walk of life you walk from, when it comes to your faith belief, people have always had respect for the Pope. Whether you believe in how you got to heaven the way he did or not, it was just a respect level about the Pope. That's why I'm gonna say, my hands is off when it comes to the Pope. So let people say what they say, bro.
Yeah. But I know they was trying to bleed it into some politics and political. Regardless on how slimy or nasty that they what you call them? It's not a congregation, but they side has been. Regardless of how nasty and slimy it is, some stuff should have some ethics behind it or some moral behind it.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that. Again, condolences out there to Pope Francis's family and friends and dear ones and things like that. Rest in peace. Now, in other news, we was talking about sports, but I had to separate this because y'all got Buddy messed up.
Who that?
Yeah. DeMar DeRozan was in the news over the weekend. Okay, if you don't know who DeMar DeRozan is, he is a all-star, very great basketball player, especially for Toronto with the Raptors. Very well known for his time and stint there. He currently plays for the Kings. Played for my team. Shout out Chi-Town. You feel me? Chicago. Go Bulls. But yeah. This is a great player. And I'm gonna be honest with you. He don't have any real interactions where he's in the news for something publicly like this. He was in the news over the weekend over an altercation that happened between him and a supposed fan that thought it was smart to pull up on Mr. DeMar DeRozan and to record him while he was either eating or relaxing. It was at a sushi spot down there in it's not Sacramento. Let me make sure I get that fact right. I know he was in the middle. He was in the he was eating at a sushi spot. And if you watch the recording, I will play it, but I don't know how they finna be about the recording part. The fan pulled up on his camera. I guess it was like, celebrity prank, pop up on him, whatever it is, while they in the element. He tried to do that with DeMar DeRozan, and it got physical to where DeMar DeRozan flipped old buddy, put him on his neck. This is what I'll say, and then I'll see how you feel about it. I keep up with DeMar DeRozan only because he's like one of those few players that I really like. If you don't know anything about him, he is a California Compton guy, born and raised. I don't think it's Rosecrans, but it's somewhere around. Gang affiliate. Now, he's not shy about this. So that's why I have no problem with saying that he's an affiliate. He also has a lot of stories where folks is trying to try him, which is why in the league, there's a lot of folks who trash talk, not the few that's going to meet you right there or whenever the cameras is or not rolling. He is part of that ilk. So do you really think that Buddy is going to let you just pull up on him? And he got close. You can tell he got him way out of his element because he was not expecting a fan to just really pull over his shoulder with the camera by his face. Not going to lie, I don't blame him for putting Buddy on his neck. If you're just asking me. Now, I know what comes with that because folks is going to sue. And that's why we're going to be watching this. The authorities has been investigating this since the altercation has blew up on social media. Because I think this was either after the game or before. But yeah, investigators, they have been on this story and we're going to see where it goes from here. I don't think he should be liable, but you are also the cash cow at this point, so that's not going to stop you from being sued. So I'm really I'm waiting to see what this is. I don't want to say I'm interested in it, but I'm waiting to see where this go. Anything on your end before we move on?
I just say, in this day and age, if you're a celebrity, athlete or whatever, you got to move different in this day and age because these young guys and young women, bro, everybody trying to get a social media viral moment. And unfortunately, you're not able to go outside and just be normal. And if you go outside, you're going to have security, unfortunately, because somebody's going to try to prank you, punk you, you know what I'm saying, get you to do something, get you to hit them or whatever. And unfortunately, man, this day and age of social media, you know what I'm saying? And I think social media should come to a thing, bro, when you see this kind of stuff, people doing it, that these people are banned from social media. Because there's a such thing as, these are people. They got lives, man. And, when they go out, sometimes they just want privacy. I mean, I've been around celebrities, or I've spotted celebrities out, you know what I'm saying? But when you see them, you see them kind of, tense up because they don't want to do the autograph. They don't want to do the pictures. And if you read the body language of some celebrities, sometimes if you see them, sometimes, man, if they're with their family, leave them the hell alone. That picture ain't worth nothing if that person don't want to give it to you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I mean, because everybody can get a picture with a celebrity these days. So it ain't like you got a picture with Michael Jordan and nobody else ever got one. You know what I'm saying? People get pictures with celebrities all the time these days. So that's not a big thing on social media anymore that you stand next to a celebrity because they're too accessible.
Yeah. And I think Buddy was trying to look for a moment. And you got one.
He got one.
No, you got one. Buddy was on his neck. Yeah, you got one, bro. You play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
There you go.
Now, I wonder if this is a stupid game because the prize is the conversation around this. So, another celebrity has been in the news with another basketball player, one that a lot of folks consider the GOAT. Mr. LeBron James is back in the news, y'all. And this time, I can't really say he put himself in the news. He is going back and forth with the only Kevin Gates. Okay. Kevin Gates and LeBron James are going back and forth in the news over LeBron James' wife.
I'm disappointed in Kevin Gates on this. I'm really disappointed in him.
No. I'm laughing. But I gotta get into.
I'm not.
I gotta get into how this all started. He was either on live or he was talking back with somebody in an interview. But Kevin Gates, he's been trending over the past few days. I know from a few of the photo shoots and the appearances that he made with one Brittany Renner. You know who that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She's still kind of fine, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Overdue. Now, in being with her and supposedly they in a relationship and stuff like that, I guess the relationship talk popped up. And he went and expounded on what he felt like people was missing with LeBron James. So let him get into it. Hold on.
It came up. We're just looking at like couples and people in the league. And we was talking about how LeBron do the little handshake with Savannah. Right. And then I was like, maybe I noticed, people don't notice. But I'm like, they was like talking about, what if you had LeBron money? I'm like, man, he one of the greatest players to ever play the game. Right. But I wouldn't want to trade places with him. And they was like, why not? Why you wouldn't want to play with him? I say, because I don't like the way Savannah look at LeBron. I like the way them white women look at LeBron. Like when soon as he walk out there, they just be like, oh. They be dicked out. This how the conversation came up. We were just looking at
now.
That's some bullshit, bro. Like I said, I don't like Kevin Gates for that one, bro. That's some bullshit.
Man, I wouldn't want to trade places because I don't like the way his wife look at him. But them white ones.
Yeah, that was yeah. Yeah, that was foul to me.
Oh my God. I was like, yo, nobody else talking around. Kevin Gates gonna talk.
But that's a foul take, bro. That's just a foul take.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's disrespect to LeBron, his wife. You know what I'm saying? This man ain't bothered nobody. They the quintessential for what they do. This man ain't never been caught out there cheating or anything like that, right? You gonna bring up some bullshit like that, bro?
Now
That's bullshit, bro. I mean,
now
I like Kevin
from what
Gates,
he's recalling though, he said that was just he wasn't inserting him. It was just
that was
an example.
But there's some things, bro. You know, isn't anything off limits. I was saying this last time I was on air. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some shit need to be off limits, bro. You know what I mean? And we can't continue as people to keep tearing down our own heroes. You know what I'm saying?
That's if somebody like Kevin Gates viewed LeBron as a hero.
Bro, listen, I'm a little sick and tired of every time about what people do and what people don't. Right? There should be in this life, in this culture of ours, that we pay respect and homage to certain people, bro. And let some shit be off limits. You ain't gotta respect people, bro, but some shit, man, should be off limits. Kevin Gates was out of line on that one.
What?
Just go for who he is and what he said, and to be saying it on social media like that, bro.
I don't take it like he went at him, but
you did. You disrespected that man's wife over with white women. You disrespected him. You see what I'm saying? That's a disrespect. And you know, you put him in a position where he may feel he needs to defend his wife against your ass because you said some dumbass shit, right?
I do believe he put him in a position.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's fucked up though, bro. For what? For what?
This how I take it. And maybe I'm missing something. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna frame this.
Okay, because I'm listening, bro. I'm all ears on this one.
Okay. This is how I take it. I'm not going to argue you on if he put him in a position or not, or if Savannah just so happened to pick the day that this won't be a problem per se. I can't call it. I don't know them. This is what I will say. I wouldn't say he really spoke bad of them, but from what he's seen, if I'm going back to at least the recent appearances, no, Savannah ain't been giving LeBron an eye. But if you're doing the comparing game for what Mr. Kevin Gates would see as admiration or some type of, because I'm thinking talking about love at this point, which again, he wouldn't be able to call. But if he's just going based off of the appearance of it, Savannah look like she cool with old buddy. Other women look like they want him. And I guess he wants somebody that's going to always look like they want him. I mean, even in the pictures that he had with Brittany Renner, he with a woman that seemingly looks like she just wants him. Because a lot of folks have been speaking bad about her and saying, oh, I thought your Mormon or your Muslim thing was for real, but now I see you is just doing this for clicks and stuff like that or whatever. Regardless, he wants somebody that looks at him as if they want and desire him.
Okay, so Kevin Gates can't hold on to nobody to desire him for a long period of time. Have not been able to since we've been knowing Kevin Gates. LeBron James been with Savannah since high school. Okay, they got kids together. They've held it down as the quintessential, like I said, man in top of his game, the mom of his kids, right? They done held it down. How else she need to look at him? She done did everything that a black woman should have ever done. Man, like I said, that's what he did to me, bro. Seriously, it's disrespectful. Because I'm not feeling it, because that's a slap in the face to black women and everybody, bro. How you gonna sit there and say some white chick look at your husband better than your own wife did? And this wife, she done showed women how to hold it down for your husband. You know what I'm saying? On that level. Come on. You know what I'm saying?
I want my woman to look at me like the white women.
That's what I said, bro. I can't even laugh at him and play with him like that, bro. Because again, you taking the swipe at the queen. To me, you taking the
At
swipe
the queen?
for what she does. She is the queen of what she does, bro. She at the top of her game.
Now,
She handled her business. She ain't never went out there and did anything bad. She at most of this guy's game raised the goddamn kids well. They ain't never had no fucking scandals. Why don't he go after Superhead or go after Brittany Griner, the goddamn girl he's dealing with, right? The people that he deal with, right? I see you the he and her and the goddamn Bobby Adolf, whatever that little girl name face. You see what I'm saying? So I see you doing this bullshit, right? So the bullshit that you be doing, you know what I'm saying, spitting in people's mouths and all this other shit. Come on, dog. And you gonna sit there and I'm gonna pay this guy attention. I like Kevin. Don't get me wrong. I like him. I think he's a cool dude. But we don't have to get clicks by tearing down the people that we look up to. And I think that was some bullshit, bro. Real talk. That was straight bullshit.
Be bent over, stand up on your toes, breathe through your nose.
Because I just think, man, some things are funny, but that wasn't funny to me. That wasn't funny to me. I mean, because black women, and I'm not pandering, but I'm being black women have enough shit to deal with.
You got black and white on.
But what I'm saying is, you got black women that deal with enough shit than for a brother to sit there and say some shit like that when a man is married to a black woman, and to sit there and disrespect her and say white women look at your husband way different than you do. Man, come on, bro. That's bullshit, man. That's fucked up on so many goddamn levels. For him to say that about them, come on, bro. And this man ain't never did nothing to you. He ain't never came after you in no shape, form, or fashion. And you gonna say some bullshit like that, bro?
I don't know if he ain't got no beef with old buddy.
Like I said, from what I know at this point, you just saying shit.
No, we don't know.
It's a conversation that you and your partners was having, right? And then you came out and told the conversation that was just, some shit should be left private, dog. You Kevin Gates, you can get a whole lot of attention on a whole lot of other shit. Leave people alone, man.
He has, and he been going back and forth. Now, since LeBron James has posted a lovely picture of his wife looking at him like he is the best man ever, just like the white woman, saying, "Hey," and I quote, "Kings do not concern themselves with the opinions of peasants. We're the next queen. Let's get it." Now that has been LeBron James. I'm here for LeBron James' sassy remarks and his comments. I'm with it.
But see, you know, why are we as black men putting our men, our people in positions to have to even do that bullshit? That's bullshit, bro. I mean, y'all may find it funny because y'all are young, but I don't find it funny because
it's a messy Monday, Joe.
It's messy.
God,
but that ain't messy. That's bullshit.
This is messy.
That ain't messy, bro.
This is messy.
No, bro. That messy is when there's Savannah ain't no hoe. She ain't been out there doing anything, bro.
No, but I mean, Kevin Gates is this really, but she's an unfortunate casualty between two dudes.
But LeBron James ain't did that for him not for him to even say some shit like that.
So had he been going back and forth,
it'd have been a different thing. It'd have been a different thing if him and they had some type of beef or whatever. Like what he did to Stephen A. Smith, got it. I ain't got. Hey, listen, there's a beef there. LeBron ain't said nothing. You know what I'm saying? All these years. So when he stepped to old buddy on the court in the third quarter, I understood that. You know what I mean? But this with Kevin Gates just coming out the blue, it just sounded more clickbaitish to say some dumbass shit like that, right? And again, like I said, you saying some stuff like that after you just did a podcast with a girl named Bobby, and y'all was flirting together.
Adolf.
Yeah, Bobby Adolf. You know what I'm saying? You sitting there, you sitting there flirting and flirting with this little young ass girl. You know what I'm saying? And now you're gonna talk about a queen and white women look at, you know what I'm saying? So you're saying basically you love the way white women look at you.
You take it like that?
Bruh, why are you even comparing?
I mean, he probably said white women just because he didn't know Jeannie Buss.
But there are plenty black women that look at him. Plenty black women look at this dude in awe. Celebrities look at him in awe. There have been plenty of celebrities. Was it Beyonce or whatever that was looking at him one time when Jay-Z was sitting on courtside? They sort of had a picture maybe a year or so, a couple years ago, where Beyonce saw him and she was looking up at him in awe. Everybody looks at LeBron in awe. Women look at him in awe because of the things that he's done and who he is. White women are not the only one to do that. That's just him trolling. That's what I say is bullshit.
I knew it was him trolling though, so that's why I was laughing.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't laugh at it because I just don't find it. Some things to me is just off limits. And
now, Kevin Gates' sin responded.
4 hours. You smile. You smile at that black man. You smile at him. Hey, because you know one thing.
Today is Easter. You know what come with Easter, huh? It got a lot of bunnies hopping around. They about to take a trip on their favorite rocket ship.
I didn't watch it until so it made the point that she was just oh
Hey,
man.
John.
Woo!
You see what I'm saying?
Look, I tried to defend him. I didn't know he said that. God, dog.
Like I said, bro, you know, some things, you know, I know everybody need to make content. You know what I mean? But you know, I just think, you know, that there should be boundaries for what we do and how we gonna do it. And if I'm gonna do something like that, I'm gonna give you a call and say, hey, bro, this is what we doing, blah blah blah. You know, like 50 would do with 50 would do with his folks. You know what I'm saying? They make a social media viral, but you know, they're ready to know how they're gonna do it and what they're gonna do. I think that was out the blue. They wait, LeBron, his wife wakes up and they see this thing going on, right? And again, you know, LeBron got, you know, feels at this point in his life he needs to say something to defend his wife because she ain't did shit to deserve it. So yeah. But
I mean, but LeBron been defending a lot of stuff today. So
yeah, I'm not. I mean, but I think LeBron just at a point like you said earlier, right? You know, he's about at that time, he's about his life, about to retire. I got time for it today, and y'all gonna leave my kid and my wife the fuck alone. Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
this the unfortunate part that comes from that. As understanding as it is that hey, I got time that I ain't really had before. I'm getting towards the end. I ain't got no other things to prove. That when you start then allotting the time that you have now, okay, you got time now. So what comes with having time to respond to one might open up the door for, all right, you got time for a lot of stuff.
Well, I want to
So,
see his Kevin
here
Gates
it
gonna pull up at a
come.
Lakers game during the playoffs.
Huh?
I want to see his Kevin Gates gonna pull up at a Lakers game during the playoffs.
I think you're a Lakers fan.
But
But who not?
I just want to say I want to see he's gonna pull up because I want to see LeBron gonna step into the stands in the third quarter.
Keep my wife
name out your
So-
mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Now,
Now would he be wrong?
no, it'd be understandable.
Okay.
It'd be understandable.
Okay.
Now, real quick, that Sinners, it's been that Sinners movie, it just broke a record that ain't been broke for a good little minute. Sinners right now in the box office has just grossed 45 million for the film, one of the best starts to an original film series since Jordan Peele's Us franchise.
Mhm.
So I do want to give Michael B. Jordan and Ryan Coogler a round of applause. My cousin went to go watch it. I said it was great.
Go watch it as a family.
We really do.
Yeah.
He said it was great.
I need to y'all need to get everybody together and we see can we go get some tickets and go watch it.
My
I want to go with somebody. I need to go with somebody.
yeah, you gotta go with somebody. Gotta go with some work. But yeah, I'm definitely man.
Exactly,
I've been hearing nothing but good things about this from folks that's
Like
close.
I said,
around.
I want to see can he pull it off.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna say that. I don't know it, but I want to see.
They saying he did a great job.
Okay.
They saying he did a great job.
Is that Bow Wow?
No, that's Ryan Coogler.
That's Ryan Coogler?
He just look a little different.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. They saying they
Oh
stepped
no,
it up.
that look like Master P's son, not Bow Wow. What's Master P's son? Romeo, like Romeo. Just a glance, you that look like Romeo, dog.
If you don't
If you
pay
glance,
attention,
that look like Romeo,
like,
Michael
you
G.
swipe
Boy.
your head,
If
right?
you look at it just closer, like Romeo and Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, if you swiping your head, maybe, but nah, I got you. I ain't.
Rachel
I
said
ain't
she's gonna watch
manage.
it from her couch. Char said she can't wait to see the movie.
Yeah, my folks was like, man, can't wait till it gets to Amazon Prime.
I want to go to the movies and see it.
Oh my goodness, I ain't been to the movies in a minute, so I might do the same. Now one of our main topics for today, because this has been buzzing since she did this podcast. Shout out to Miss Michelle Obama and her podcast series.
With her brother.
This is the second time she done blew up like this. And it's all off of the beautiful, the elegant, the amazing Tracy Ellis Ross explaining her dating life.
You know, for the longest, I never knew she was Diana Ross' daughter.
I hear that from a lot of folks.
I did not know, but
I hear that from a lot of folks.
and I did not know her dad was white.
But that just, before we get into it, that just expounds on just how fire that bloodline is. They all have their own things to where you ain't even really gotta correlate the two. And they got the same last name.
Bruh, but it never freaking dawned on me, bruh.
Man, that just
Until
show
I
how
heard
dope
her
they is,
years ago, till I heard, when she say my mom, right? I'm like, who the fuck? I'm like, by the way, who is her mom? I hear her talking a little bit, and she's like, Diana. I'm like, whoa, Diana Ross.
What's crazy? You would?
Can you imagine Diana Ross being your mama?
That's a crazy flex. I'm not gonna lie. That's a crazy flex.
Diana Ross being your mama?
And then your sister.
Yeah.
Like, think about that. We still don't, and they both act. And we still don't correlate the two outside of we knowing that's they sisters.
Yeah, you don't.
Bro. It's fire, bro. That's just how fire it is. Shout out to them. Now Tracy Ellis Ross has been trending, like I said, over some comments that she made on the show. So I'm gonna let her get into it herself.
All right.
What her and Miss Michelle Obama was going through. This is one of the clips.
Okay.
I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a
Several
great dinner.
snaps on that
We
one.
had a great dinner, by the way. We're across the table. Your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. Hurry. This
No.
is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun. It's really
Okay,
fun to share.
Tracy tale.
But
I'm sorry.
But one of the
younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who
Yes.
knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. Reasons. I mean, we've talked about this that often I date younger men, but a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me,
Yeah.
I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again. But a lot of men my age are
Now, this sparked up a few conversations that I'm interested to see how you is on this.
Okay.
And this is probably our topic for today. One of the conversations was dating in different age ranges. So that's one. The other conversation that really was buzzing off most of the discourse was the idea of toxic masculinity. And is it so much of an excuse today, or is it really a true thing? There was a lot of guys that took a little bit of offense around y'all age. So like I was this saying, not too many around my age, because we dating Tracy. Tracy said she like I'm young. Okay.
Right.
But I'm interested to see where you're at on this, because a lot of older guys and a few other guys around in the mids, they're saying, yo, man, it's seeming like it's seeming like a lot of women, and not just her, but it seemed like a lot of women frame guys in the general sense for what they usually can't pick up, or usually they can't not provide for themselves. But you feel me? Like,
yeah.
They're saying, yo, you can't attract the guys that you want, but you use that as a guy problem.
I don't think so.
So I'm interested to see your take on this.
I'm with Tracy on what she said. I mean, I totally agree with what I agree with what she's saying, because here's the thing. me being single at my age in life now, I'm not the traditional guy that wants, to get into a relationship, see how it works, see can we get girlfriend, boyfriend, want to get married. Hell, I don't want to get married right now. I don't want to be in a relationship. People say you want to play. I don't want to play. I just want to live my life. So what I shout out to Tracy on this one here. She knows what she wants. And she knows what she don't want. And she don't want she don't want to be nobody arm candy. She don't want to be in a relationship where she's being controlled and feel that she have to live up to her husband's expectations. What's wrong with that? That's toxic for her. She's free. She's independent. She can take care of her damn self. She don't need your money. So why come she can't be free to choose who she decide that she want to spend time with? So I'm not mad at Tracy on anything that she's saying. You know what I'm saying? She know what she wants. She know what she likes. The commitment level, wherever that may be with her with younger guys, it feels better for her. It's nothing wrong with that.
I don't think most folks is mad at Tracy as it is. This seems to be an agenda or propaganda that keeps.
It's not. People got to get out of this bullshit thing, in my humble opinion, y'all. But y'all continuously think that people want to live the life the way you live it. You know what I'm saying? You want a boyfriend, you want a husband. Damn, that's you. Everybody don't want to do that shit. Let's just be honest. Everybody don't want to do that. Some people just want to go out and be single and live their life and go home and be single and spend time with people. There is nothing wrong with that. The only thing is wrong with someone that's misleading people and acting like they want to be in a relationship, acting like they want to get married, knowing damn good and well they don't. But if Tracy tell a man this ain't what she want, I want this younger guy. I like the firmer body. I like the guy with the guy, possibly more stamina that can go longer. You know what I'm saying? That when the wind blow, he ready to go. If that's what she wants, what's wrong with that? Same thing is when a man wants that. What's wrong with that? If I'm single and this is what I want, it's what I want. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not faulting. I'm not mad at Trace for what she's saying, because I would much rather for a woman to tell me, hey, you're not what I'm looking for. And if I see her with what she's looking for and she's happy, damn, that's good. Toxic for her is what men try to do. They're either going to try to control her, like she said, make her arm candy, right? Or she going to have to feel that she has to acquiesce into the life of being, a wife or a girlfriend, something she don't want to do. Maybe she like when she's with younger guys and she feels more in control and they're in awe of her. Anything wrong with that for real? There's nothing wrong with that if that's what she wants. Ain't like she's taking advantage of nobody. Again, this is a woman who can handle her own. She don't need a man. She ain't using nobody. She got her own life. She good without. So I can't be mad at a woman that knows what she wants, got what she has, and going to get it and living her best life. I don't see a damn thing wrong with it. I fought the women that don't have what she have and trying to do what she. That's different. But Tracy don't need none of that.
That's where I was going. I didn't want to keep it on Tracy because Tracy has also what a lot of women don't have, and that's the freedom to really do whatever it is she wants.
Yeah.
Like, this is still Tracee Ellis Ross. She even in a little bit of the interview, I didn't finish it, but a little bit of the interview in the back and forth on the podcast, she was like, yo, it's hard for me to go out with even guys around my age if they're not even in my financial bracket. I've always had money.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So it's not even that I came into money. I've always had it. Diana Ross's mama is my mama. You feel me? My sister is yada, yada, yada. It wasn't never an instance where I wasn't provided for and then I had opportunity. You feel me? So when we're hearing the discourse that seems to be common around the board, a lot of guys are, I guess, supposedly upset because the preference seems to be applied around the board than it is just Tracy. It's understandable if it's Tracy if you're not in her bracket. You're not really what Tracy is going to be looking at anyway, and you don't take it no way because you're not on Tracy's radar and Tracy's not on yours.
Mm-hmm.
It's another if your radar is preaching the same thing Tracy got going on and they ain't got Tracy nothing.
Even if I had Tracy's money, bro, I'm still gonna love her for what she is. Tracy don't want me.
No. This ain't about that point. I'm talking about just in the dating market.
I mean, even in the dating market right now, bro, I had to add something to my resume. or what I don't do now, right? I don't date broke women.
Okay.
Right? That's something I had to add to what that I had to be very firm at this stage in my life, right? I don't date broke women. If I see that a woman is struggling, I don't want to date you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to call you. I don't want to date you, right? Because what I had to realize is the last time, and I've been just self-analyzing over the years, right? When I was broke, when I didn't have stuff, I made poor choices.
Okay.
I was doing dumb shit, right? And so when I'm looking around now and you're thinking and you're looking at stuff, I said, something, some things that I don't want. I don't want a broke woman. Before I probably never wanted to say that out loud, but now I'm saying it out loud. I don't want a broke woman because if she's broke at this stage in her life, she's made some poor choices and I don't want to be a part of that. Now, what her reason behind it and her story about, I don't give a damn. But I'm not in that stage of my life anymore. So I'm not dating a broke woman. So again, that's my preference.
Okay.
So I'm not mad at Tracy or anybody else. As long as you're upfront, you know what you want, and you can bring equivalent or better to the table, right? Make your choices.
Now, let's think about the many ways that can get muddy.
How?
Because, and this is where I'm talking about the dating market and not specific to a person. Because we know, because we talk about it a whole bunch on the show, a lot of generalistic conversations. So let's not act ignorant.
No, but I'm saying this is not general.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with a specific preference. I'm talking about when you claim your specific preference is something general. That's where a lot of folks get the upset point to it. Like how you just said, I don't want to deal with a broke woman. Cool. I can understand that. Joe is Joe. If I'm looking at Joe and whatever Joe been through, then cool. I can isolate it as a Joe thing. For women, I'm pretty sure most of them would too. I don't think most women would be upset until there's a whole bunch of Joes around that ain't Joe saying, I don't want to deal with you broke women. Matter of fact, I need y'all to come to the table with yada, yada, yada in order to even be considered. I need yada, yada, yada for you to even be in my presence still.
That's a different conversation.
But Joe, that's where the conversation usually leads to off of what that is.
And that's a different conversation.
It's not if you think about it.
But that conversation is not at my level though. You see what I'm saying?
We talk about it. What you mean?
No, we can talk about it, but I'm saying that conversation is not at my level. You see what I'm saying?
No,
when I was broke, I was broke and I'm making them demand, that's a different conversation because now you have an argument. But I'm saying at this level, what I'm talking at, right?
Joe, okay. You're still on yourself when I'm talking.
No, I'm just talking about no, forget me. If a guy don't have and he's wanting you to have and he doesn't, that's a whole different conversation for two different people.
I'm not saying it like it was a conversation that's just been out. I'm giving the example for where dudes is right now.
But when a dude does that, that's a time for a different conversation. Because now, how can you, why, blah, blah, blah. That's a different conversation. I get what you're saying, but that's a different conversation.
I don't think you do.
It's way different, bro. I can say it with my chest. He can't. That's two different conversations.
No.
So
the dude's not the one with the problem, Joe. That's what you keep messing up. I'm saying the girl in her dating market, get outside of the specific preference. I'm only using that to highlight the dating market and what's being talked about. That's why I know you get it, because we've had many conversations with this. It gets past being a preference when a whole bunch of folks want to identify with the same thing. Now it turns generalistic. Now it's what you meet if you're still single out here in the market, because now you have a lot of folks that's not Tracy and that's not Joe's wanting the same things that they are having the benefit to have.
Okay.
Because they either worked for it or circumstances, life, regardless.
Okay.
And that's what gets most folks in the discourse. That's what gets
a
most
lot of
folks
people
upset.
eat a 5-star restaurant, but they'll never eat there. I mean, that's
a lot of folks can't afford it.
That's what I'm saying. That's life. So you're not going to get what you want.
You're missing it, and it's going to die out if you don't get it.
But I'm getting what you're saying. But what I'm saying is, no matter how you look at it, if you're not of that caliber, right? A lot of people don't want to tell you you're not of that caliber. You're not cut from that cloth right now. So the person that's saying it,
that don't stop the folks that's not from that cloth to still act.
You can act how you want. You can say what you want. It don't matter.
Joe, them acting that way is not always to somebody that either has more or less than them. That's probably to whoever they're able to still have.
Okay, again,
Most cases, normal people are not interacting with Tracy or with the Joe.
okay,
They're interacting with other normal people around the same
and that
bracket.
person don't want you, so you're not gonna get what you want. I get what you're saying, but we got to stay out of other folks' business. If you want this and you want that person, but that person don't want you, for whatever reason, they don't want your ass, right? They don't want you, and that is what it is. Whether it ain't got to be about the finances or the clout, whatever. If that person don't want you because you're thin, fat, white, green, brown, whatever, they don't want you. You're not going to get them. No matter what you think you deserve, no matter who you think you are, or what, you're not going to get it. That's life.
But this the other part. Because she said because of toxic masculinity traits.
Uh-huh.
And that brought up other conversations as to, alrighty, so what is toxic masculinity for real? Because a lot of things that folks want from a quote unquote man, you can either say is toxic or not, but it's what most folks
But that's
want.
reading too much into it. She said was for her toxic.
No, that's damn, dude. That's what I'm saying. Get the fuck off of her. I get what her preference is. I'm talking about the conversation. Get off of her. She is the example. She the example. So if we getting off of her as the example, we know this is the conversation in dating now, period. And the toxic masculinity point is what a lot of folks, a lot of other guys are upset about. Because why is it's toxic then, but it's not toxic now? If I'm going towards what you want as a provider and protector, what comes with being a provider and protector is certain type of requirements.
For certain
You got to be
people.
a certain type of way
Well,
to
for
be a
certain-
provider and protector that you're looking for.
Again, it still goes back to what I'm saying. I get what you're saying, but it's not for her. It's for us, another person that wants what they're giving. She don't want it. So if the guy wants to be who he is, right, the protector, all this other good stuff, there are a plethora of women, right, that's going to want that. Tracy Ellis Ross is not one of them. People like her is not one of them. They say it's toxic to them. They don't want to be covered like that, right? So it's toxic. So get over the women who don't want your ass. Go be with the women who are looking for, who wants to be protected, covered, and smothered, right? You're not toxic to them. For women like Tracy, whether they got the money, don't have the money or the means, right? They want younger guys. They don't want what you're brought. They don't want that type of protection. They don't want the type of, financial stability, right? They just want to be able to be with you because they can sustain for themselves, whatever the case may be. It's okay. So you getting mad for a woman who don't want you, period. Why are you getting mad, bro? She don't want your ass. Go be with the woman who wants you. Tracy don't want what you're giving. She said, I had it, been there, done it. I don't like it. It ain't nothing wrong with knowing. It's nothing better than knowing what the fuck you want instead of being in something that you don't like. There are women who will have some women, the men that Tracy would have been with. I'm sure there's plenty women who would have wanted to be with those dudes and would have did anything to still be with them. Tracy said, I don't like it. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? So for the dudes that's saying something, man, stop being a bitch, right? Because you are toxic to women like Tracy. Go be with the women who love your traits, right? What you give. And that is the stereotypical, the atypical woman that, that's looking for a husband that's going to let their husband be the leader of their life. It's nothing wrong with those women, but it's nothing wrong with what Tracy's saying about her life. She said, I don't want to be nobody's arm candy, right? I don't need your financial protection, right? I don't want to go, have to look up to you and acquiesce to everything you want and make sure your clothes is ironed, or, if you're having a bad day, I'm having a bad day too. Tracy said, fuck that. I don't want to do that. What's wrong with that? I don't think there's one thing wrong with what Tracy said. And for any dude that's getting mad with it, bruh, something wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. Because Tracy don't want your ass, and so you want to sit there and denigrate what she's saying when she's 100% right? She told you she don't want you, so why are you mad about what the fuck she said? If a woman tell you what, the women always say, tell me so I can make a choice. She told you, I don't want that. So why go after her? Why are you mad about what she said? She said, the shit that you walking, okay, what you got, how good you look, I don't want to be with you. Okay, Tracy, I got it, baby. Go find another woman that want to be with you. Tracy don't want that shit. So I like what Tracy said.
Yeah, you being disingenuous, but I got you.
That's being disingenuous?
Yeah, you is. You
How?
being disingenuous to the conversation.
How is that
I
being
got you.
disingenuous? How is that being disingenuous when I'm saying if a man say is questioning what she's saying, or any people like her, right? That why is this toxic? It's toxic because she said, I don't want it. If a woman tells you she don't want something, that means what? You shouldn't do it. If a man tells you he don't want something, right? And I say, if we tell women they toxic all the time, right? Because they do this, and this, right? If I tell you I don't want this and I go get something else, you too, won't you go get something else? If this woman's giving off something that you don't want, right? And it's atypical what everybody think you should be doing, but you don't like that shit. You're going to say that's toxic to me. That's bad. It's toxic to you.
Again, you're being disingenuous to the
How is that being disingenuous? Exactly what you just talked about.
Because you're not on the conversation.
That is on conversation. You
Yeah.
said men that are toxic, right? That she said that's toxic.
That she said that it's toxic.
Right.
Okay. She is just the example. Get off of Tracy Ellis.
Any woman.
But if we're talking about any other one, that's why I said we're talking now generalistically, because we don't know every other woman.
Okay.
But we do know the discourse that goes in on the dating market today.
But
that
why
has been and is still and is currently a huge topic. And that's past just finding somebody that wants you. Most cases, the one that wants you to do other stuff. The one that wants you how they want you.
Right.
So that comes with the nuances that come between dating.
But don't I get
That's
to choose?
that's not the same.
But don't
as
we get
if
to
she don't
choose?
want you. Yes, you choose. That's different from when you're entangled in a relationship or you're looking for one.
But you're looking
If
for
she
one.
don't want you and you don't want her, you're usually not getting past
Right.
the initial intro.
Right.
Most of these discourse is coming from what's being labeled throughout the process.
Okay.
And throughout the process, there is a whole bunch of things. That's why I kept leaving it generalistic, because I thought we was going to expound on it. But I had to just go ahead and go into it. When we're talking about things that is labeled as toxic or toxic masculinity and things like that, most cases it's what? For a dude not being vulnerable, right? Now, if we're going off of what we've just been spilling this whole time, for a guy that's not vulnerable, or it's hard for him to be, if we use that same premise, it would be, all righty then, it's your fault that whatever trauma that you got going on, that you still want to be with this woman with, it's not just your fault, but you contributed to why she's like this too.
How?
Because if we go walk with me, yo. You said don't find nobody that don't want you, right?
Oh, if you find that you're not equal yoke, you move on. Yeah.
You're not equally yoked, you move on. When certain things happen, or when somebody is, I'm trying to see how I'm finna phrase it. When somebody is not on the same page with you, or if they are, dang, that's just gonna muddy it up. I can't explain it. I can't. I have no way to explain it. I'm trying to think of an instance that would feel for this, because me explaining this gonna confuse you more. Because it's literally just the natural reaction that goes back and forth.
It goes, but I get what the premise of what you're trying to put, the context you're trying to put it in, but the thing goes to it is here. We give credence to a bunch of bullshit that really means nothing. We give all these different phraseologies, right? Toxic, somebody's toxic, somebody's amasculine, blue pill, red pill. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of titles on a bunch of shit that we generalize. We want to make it for great conversation and content for social media. But it really boils down to, it's my choice if I'm single. It's her choice if she's single, right? And you make a fucking choice. And you won't win some, you're gonna lose some. You can walk outside and the sun is out today, and it may fucking start raining, and you ain't got no umbrella or raincoat, and you're gonna get the fuck wet up. Next time you're gonna carry your fucking raincoat or umbrella with you, right? That's just the way relationships are. You can get into the middle of a relationship and the person changes, right? You got a choice to stay or leave. You can say somebody gaslit you. You can say somebody misled you. But when you start to figure out, as a grown-ass woman like Tracy has, right? Me, myself, right? And other people, once you start to realize that everything outside is just noise, I can't worry about what the nephews and what other people say or think. Yes, that's what y'all do. Yes, that's going to be y'all chatter. That's going to be y'all conversation. And y'all going to live in that world. That's fine. And y'all can have that conversation. It's not a conversation that I'm saying you can't have. I'm just saying, and Tracy's just saying, we are not having that conversation.
Well, we can't have it because I probably butchered it. I'm trying to.
You see what I'm saying?
It's not. It's
legitimate what you're saying.
Being disingenuous to the conversation that was though.
No, you're being. I don't think we are.
We are.
How are you being?
Because I can't explain it, and you're missing the main point. So
okay, what's the main point?
That's what I'm saying. We
no. What's the main point?
I can't get into the main point because the main point comes with the nuances that come with the dating market and from how dating is. You don't really date for real no more. You said that.
Okay.
So you're not in the market with the stuff that is going on today that you can easily write off as either toxic or just natural. That's why I was like, it's more of the reaction thing. I can't get into it because I have no way of vocalizing it or
but you know why I stopped dating
in the right way.
But you know why I stopped dating? Because exactly what you're talking about. The expectations that's held out there for a man of my caliber. What is expected, right? And so I said
most supposed to say for men, period. But
well, okay, for men, the expectations. And I said, I'm not playing that fucking game anymore. And a lot of women said, well, fuck you, Joe. I said, okay. You
that's
see what I'm saying?
That then
no, but what I'm saying,
we wouldn't be the best people to talk about.
No, I can talk about it because I did it.
No, we wouldn't be the best people to talk about this.
No, but I'm saying I can talk about it because I did it.
We wouldn't be able to talk about this. That's what I'm saying, Joe. Yeah, you did what you did for you. We wouldn't be able to talk about this conversation in the general sense. No, we wouldn't.
Why come I couldn't? Because
because you're talking only for you. If we talking just about you, we can talk about you. The conversation.
What I'm saying, when I was us. But when I dated, I was in the general marketplace, correct?
You're not now.
No, but I'm saying I was.
And you just said how you don't do it now.
But I'm saying, but
this
I was.
What's going on now?
But it's the same thing.
Then if it's the same,
the same thing is going on. I just removed myself from it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. You just said that this was different, and this is why you're not in it. But you just said it's the same thing.
You're not listening to me. The market has not changed. I said I changed.
The market's definitely changed from when the last time you dated. When's the last time you dated?
The last time I dated. Probably 2020, 2022.
In 6 years, it's changed. At least from what it was in 22.
What's the change? A woman wants a man that's gonna provide, protect, and whatever. So what's the change?
And that's where.
So what has changed?
Nah.
I mean, I'm asking you, what's the change? What's the change? What's new now?
Dating?
Yeah, what's new?
What's demanded of partners or whoever you're dating with has risen.
Like what?
What you able to do and provide and what you doing off of the back for a lot of what you would call high value or attractive women.
Bro, that was going on when I was in 2019 when I got divorced.
It's raised. I didn't say it's different, but it's raised.
The expectation was, can you provide or can you not? In 2019.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Leave it alone, bro. We being disingenuous to the conversation.
How you keep saying being disingenuous?
If you're just going to provide and protect, it's been like that, period. But if you're going into what it really is for each individual and then generalizing it.
So let me ask you this question. If you were broke in 2019, you broke in 2025, right? What you saying, the price didn't change?
Hell yeah.
What's the price? What's the difference in the price? How did that price get high? What price from 2019 you broke? Okay, you was in 2019. How old were you? Hold on. In 2019, how old were you?
Huh?
In 2019, how old were you?
20.
Okay, you was 20. Okay, you're 20 years old, right?
20 and 19.
Okay, we're just gonna say you're 20. In 2019, you were 20. Okay. Now you 26 to 27, whatever age you are right now. What's the price difference between then and now for you? What's the price difference? How much did the dinner cost for two when y'all went out in 2019?
$250. just at a nice spot.
How much does it
250
cost
to
now?
3. Maybe 350 to 4.
You can still get a good dinner for $250, bro. And I do that now. I take women out for
At the same spots.
Yes. The
And,
price.
and what else? Because what my
I spend about-
250 is for the date itself. It's not just for dinner.
Like I said,
If it's just for dinner, cool. But that's not.
that's what I just said.
That was
dinner.
for the date itself.
But that's what I just said. I just said for dinner. I think I said for dinner, right? So what done really changed? The gas prices done went up a little bit more. The prices on stuff done went up a little bit more, but the price for dating is still the same.
Yeah. If you're going about it like this, it ain't no conversation.
But you said the prices done went up.
It has. It really has. But if you remove from it, then you wouldn't know it.
Even if I was in it, you tell me that I'm different because I'm older. If I got back in the dating phase,
I didn't even bring your age up.
If I got into the dating world
Joe,
right now,
hold on,
today,
don't do me like that. I
No,
didn't
but-
even bring your age up.
No,
You
but-
just not active in it now.
but if
and you've just
I'm
said
saying,
that.
but,
So I'm going off of your word.
If I get back active in it now, right, and I'm saying, okay,
then you would notice. You would notice.
what? I still go. I'm not in a relationship, but I still go out and take women out.
Joe, it's not just about the taking out. That's why I said
So what-
in the
so-
dating market
so what?
today, it go past just the money point.
So
it's
what's
how
the other
you're
part?
interacting and the nuances that come with making a relationship. I said that earlier.
Okay, so what's different from what your mom and daddy did to what we want now in
A
2025?
lot. Y'all
What?
say that.
What?
The people you interacting
No,
with,
no,
the
no,
market
what?
itself,
What? What's different? I'm asking you
the
specific.
people, the financial piece we just
You said
went in on.
you said take finances off.
Take
Take it off.
finances off.
So
The-
what?
The
The woman
people that
want
you're
what?
interacting with, the relationship that you build in between those, who all you're interacting with,
Okay.
the lives they might be living, and who you choose to put around you.
Okay.
That is a whole bunch in itself.
So that wasn't back when your mom and dad was growing up?
Joe, y'all say it's different. Y'all say that.
No, I'm asking
Hold
you
on,
the question.
don't move
I'm
the
asking,
goalposts.
no, I'm not. I'm asking a question.
Yes.
It was not the same.
Yes, it is.
If I sit here with your mom and dad right now and we sit in and have a conversation,
Yes,
they're gonna
yes,
say,
because a lot of folks say the people that I interacted with and how I interacted with them before is way different in y'all day and age. If you want to bring age into it, y'all say that. Y'all are religious for saying that. Y'all are religious
No,
for saying
but
the crop nowadays, regardless on if they in their 30s or their 40s, dating in the dating market today comes with a whole bunch past just being financially secure or dealing with people that you either can trust or can build the trust. We know that. Shoot, if you getting involved with somebody and you think they cool, they cannot be cool the next day. You just said that in your whole spiel.
Yeah.
I can like you today, but if I choose not tomorrow, that's something you got to deal with. That is what's being played out throughout the dating market, period.
Okay.
So if you are not entangled or actually dating for real, not just taking girls out. Anybody can take girls out and it not be serious. Anybody can take a girl out and you jump off.
Okay,
If you actually have intention with the people that you are with,
what you got
male
to do?
or female,
So what you
there
gotta do?
are a lot of different
So what-
things
so-
today
so-
that are a lot worse or maybe a lot more taxing or even tedious than it wasn't when it was a few years
So
ago.
if you're just not dating, right, and you're trying to get with a female today in 2025, right, as a man, correct?
Yeah.
No problem. I want to make sure I'm staying on key. I don't want to be off course.
Okay.
2025 as a man, you go past dating, but past the finances, right? So when you're going past the thing as a grown man and you're not just dating and going out, right? What are you doing as a man? You're trying to go what? Get a house. You're trying to make sure. Well, I'm asking, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Joe, keep it on dating.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dating.
that's a responsibility of any grown
So
adult.
you said go past dating. You said go
No,
past
keep it on dating.
Okay,
Get
so-
past the finance.
okay,
Stay where I'm at.
Okay, so
we only talking
what-
about
so
dating
when-
in the dating market.
so when
we
you
can't
fin-
talk about
so when you-
responsibilities
So
that
when you
somebody
finish
grown
dating,
would
when
have.
when you're not on a date, what you doing with your girl?
You trying to get close to her. You trying to build a relationship.
So that's changed.
If this is the girl that you want to be with,
So that done changed.
because they're not the same.
What's different?
The general, and that's why I was talking about earlier. The general topics on how you deal with the opposite sex today, they are different. That's the part.
How?
By now, you can go into whether it's the mentality. You can go into it whether it's we leaving finances alone because that's easy. You can go into it where it's emotionally secure. trauma based, where you can go into it where it's somebody if they got different health conditions, if you want to use that one, which ain't as big, but until you get a little bit older.
Okay, I think somebody said it for you best, nephew. I agree with this one. The expectations are different.
The expectations have gotten higher.
Yeah, I think the expectations of is different, for people. I agree with the expectations are different, right?
But Joe, if we can acknowledge that the expectations is different, what comes with different expectations comes with either some of the things that are the same that has a higher demand, some of the things that wasn't as big as a deal becoming bigger, whether you'll be emotionally secure or being vulnerable or being all of these other. There are nuances that come with seriously dating in the dating market.
This is where I have to back off, right? Because yes, the expectations of people are completely different. I'm going to go with you on that one. But this is where it comes to, do you know who you are? Because you don't have to meet anybody's expectation but your own. When you get down to the brass tacks of it, yes, you're absolutely right. The woman expectations is different of their demand in the marketplace, and the man can be different. But once you know and realize, and you stop trying to live up to other people's expectations.
That response right there is why I said we were tackling this disingenuous. You kept getting offended, but now that you kept getting irritated.
No, I'm not irritated.
That's why I said we are tackling this disingenuous, because yes, if we're going towards the individual, that's why I said get Tracy or you out of it. If we're going towards the individual, it's going to always be right because that's your preference and whatever you want to have around you or whatever you choose. Life is choice, right?
Yeah.
Past it being a choice, when you choose to actually find somebody that you think is important enough or is cool enough or has other dynamics that seemingly fits for what you want, you are then going to want to be the expectation for them. That grows. That's what I was talking about with the natural reaction that I couldn't really fathom or vocalize. There are things, and this will go back to the toxic masculinity point. There are moments or there are things when you're dealing with somebody where if we're just naturally going about it, you can easily write off as toxic. But most cases you don't. If it's with somebody you like or that you love, you will have the patience for. The patience leaves when it's an objective based. And that's why a lot of dudes look at what she said as an excuse for other women that can't say the same. That's why it gets annoying when toxic masculinity is used as a write-off or an excuse for stuff that is literally just natural, because it wouldn't sound right if we talking about toxic femininity and we talking about what women have to deal with on their own day-to-day, which comes by a woman. You feel me? And you can write that off wherever it is. I'm leaving it vague for that reason. But we wouldn't understand that because we a man. You're not writing off like, oh, she a toxic woman or toxic femininity for something that you may have easily contributed to. That's why it gets irritating for a subsection of dudes, or maybe most, that just ain't really vocal about it. That's why it gets irritating when we write off certain things as toxic masculinity, when we can easily say anything is toxic past you wanting to be with the person you with. What is your objective? What are you trying to get out of this? And that's where I went back with the dating market.
Okay, so
there's a lot of objective based stuff in the dating market where I'm not even going to give you the time of day, or if I have gave you the time of day, it's not going to be long unless you're doing certain things. So that's why it seems like for a lot of dudes, this is objective based. That's why it seems like you just here to get something out of it.
So dudes are attacking her. We're going back to this.
Not her. Not her. They're not attacking Tracy.
But dudes
they're
are
not. They're attacking the conversation.
Okay, you're attacking the conversation.
To women.
Okay, so again, bro, grow up, stop being a bitch, right? I'm still gonna say this for the dudes. Toxic is toxic. Whatever a woman want to say that may be at the end of the day. I'm not gonna engage in a conversation, right? If a woman say my lifestyle or how I rock is toxic for her. That's her conversation to have. That's their right. That's their 2025 standard. That's what that is, right? But I'm tired in this day and age for everybody trying to put a phrase, a context to who the fuck I am and what the fuck I do.
How many women you gonna let just keep saying that?
They can say what they want to say.
I'm just saying that you want to interact with, and that you want to choose, and that you want as your mate. How many are you gonna allow that to keep saying? How many times are you just gonna be, oh, cool?
As many as they want to say it, bro. I'm not married.
No, that's
You
why I
said-
said you being disingenuous.
No, you said for a woman
That's
saying
why I
it to
said
me.
what you know.
Bro, a woman can say it to me.
That's why I
as many-
said you being disingenuous.
No, but a woman can, you
Joe,
said to me.
for who you want to pick and who you want
I
as
don't
your
want
mate.
her.
No, Joe. Damn, that's
You know what?
stop and listen, bro.
Go ahead.
Stop and listen. Get out of her. Get out of you.
You just said me.
On that part, just stay with me here.
Okay.
I got what you was just saying beforehand.
Okay.
I'm responding to what you're saying. Stay with me.
Okay.
How many women that you want
Mhm.
that Joe want? Now we on you.
Okay.
Are you going to just be like okay with to where you start thinking that's just what it is, and the market looks at me a certain way? Is it how many is it going to be for that? Because that's a lot of the discourse.
Okay, because that's the way it is now. Women look at me being a certain way. So how many women?
You gonna
As
feel
many?
away about that.
No,
You're gonna feel away about that, and that's the
Bruh, you can't.
disingenuous
Hold
part.
on.
You're gonna
I
feel
love
away
you,
about that.
lot nephew, but one thing you can't do, you can't tell me how I'm gonna feel. You can tell yourself how you're gonna feel about anything, but
Joe,
you can't.
and you can't lie.
But you can't tell me I'm lying.
I could.
No, you cannot.
I could.
No, you cannot.
I could.
Bro, you can, but you don't know.
Joe, how many women can you say that you loved in your life? Like 2 or 3, right?
No more, but yeah.
Mo, how many?
That I loved. You talking about
wife-
relationship?
like wife.
You
like
talking about wife?
level. Like wife level.
Well,
how many?
I've only been married twice, so 2.
How many more of those to where it's not gonna work out and they kept saying the same thing about you? Or same thing about something that comes with the DNA of Joe.
Mhm.
How many of those conversations are you gonna have until you just start thinking women just see you like that?
It depends on the woman that's coming from. And that's truthful. It depends on the woman that's coming from, bro. Depends on the caliber of the woman that's saying it to me. Because I don't take
then
all.
you would be agreeing with me.
How am I agreeing with you? I'm telling you right now. You saying that if women I like that like me is saying that Joe is toxic, right? Joe may be toxic. And that's something I may have to accept. Right? If it's coming from different women, white, black, Hispanic, Japanese, Asian, all the women are saying the same thing. They don't know each other. They might be right. So how many then said it, and you may need to look in the damn mirror and think about what the fuck you're doing? They might be right. So if a lot of women are saying the same damn thing, exact same thing to Joe Lockett may be toxic. I may need to look in the mirror and change some shit about myself. I'm not gonna look at them and say they're wrong.
Then in the discourse,
Uh-huh.
you would be agreeing than it is that you would just be agreeing with Tracy, because that's what I was saying with a lot of the discourse. I'm glad I gave you the whole flow.
Yeah, but I'm saying
That was a trick question for a reason.
but it's not a trick
Joe,
question.
because a lot of the discourse, and I said this earlier when we was talking about the Tracy Ellis Ross situation.
Mhm.
I said a lot of the discourse is from other dudes is that, all righty, cool. That's just the dudes you choose or be around with.
Right.
You generalizing it and not actually applying it to your poor choices. You said earlier, oh, if you're just toxic, I agree with Tracy all the while. If you're
I
just
agree
toxic,
with
yada,
her.
yada, yada.
I
But
still
that's
agree
a
with
lot
her.
of the discourse that a lot of the dudes were having back
For her.
for women.
No, but okay.
Not just for her.
Okay, so let me be clear. When I was speaking in the context of her and her thing.
And I kept telling you, get off of just her. She's the example.
No, I said at the time, but I'm saying again, when we removed her, again, it goes
and
back.
talk about the conversation.
And the conversation, it goes back to the individual. And I'm with you on what you're saying. But again, I'm not going to go out and be a man like, well, I'm tired of women saying this about me. I am a person that would take accountability quickly about something. And more than one person is saying the same damn thing to me, right? And I know these people of a high caliber, right? I always take a look at myself, and I judge myself very hardly, right? And that's just me. So again, I'm maybe a little bit different than some of these guys because I don't even involve myself in these conversations with a woman that's going out there having this conversation. Maybe for a show or something, I may debate it. But at the end of the day, bro, when you know who you are as a woman, when you know who you are as a man, there's really no thing for you to sit here and engage in gaslighting conversations, toxic conversation, masculinity, blue pill, red pill. Man, you are who the fuck you are at the end of the day. Find out what you like and what you don't like. Whether you like being married, being single, being poly, whatever you like, go find that out and go live your life. You can't allow people to continue to judge or say things to you to get you to do what they want you to do. Come on, brother. I mean, this social media stuff has risen to a level that is a bunch of bullshit. At the end of the day, when you go home and you close your eyes and behind your closed doors, are you happy?
I got you.
Real talk. When you boil it down, because all this other stuff is just noise. It's what somebody said, what somebody think, what the market doing. Man, who gives a flying fuck? I can get on an airplane tomorrow and go meet another woman. I can go to another country and meet another woman.
It's only noise if you don't care, and you know.
Exactly.
That's why I was like, we can't tackle the conversation.
But, okay,
we can't. We just can't.
I won't tackle that conversation for me to have, because again, to what end am I trying to please somebody who says I'm toxic? I'm trying to prove to you I'm not. Why would you get into that conversation? If she believes I'm toxic, it is not my job to try to disprove you that I'm not. That ain't even the people who are having the conversation. If that's what she feels, I would say, okay, just for entertainment, what do you describe as toxic? You can go down that road. But if those are my strong qualities as a man, and I feel that's going to, harm me in some type of way, and it change for you, and I'm looking at you like, what the fuck am I changing for you for? No, I don't think so. Or if she's of a caliber woman, and I think that maybe I need to change, because I'm not saying everything about me is correct. Everything about me is right. The women in my life that has been close to me in my life and that are close to me now, they make me better. They make me look at things a little bit differently. They make me, soul search on some things, right? And I have changed a few things in my life as I've grown older, right? And one thing I've become more now is more self-aware. And as I've gotten older, I had to understand that, hey, what's the best way to put this? It ain't my job to make other people happy. The first job in life is that I need to make sure that I'm happy. I'm self-supportive, because nobody's going to give me oxygen or put an oxygen mask on me if something happens to me. And I know when I got my oxygen and I'm going to take care of, I know how I deal things out and give to people. Everybody don't do the same for me. So now that I've worked and got myself in a position where I can hand out masks and stuff like that right now, I don't give a damn what other people do. I do me. And hopefully some people follow by my example, or they don't. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you like me, you like me. Cool. But I'm not mad at anybody else that look at me and like, man, he fucked up, or he narcissistic, or he toxic, or he just ain't my guy, or he full of shit. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna lose any sleep over it. And I don't think you should either.
I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the dating market is where you put yourself at. I'm in a dating market. It's just not the same one they in. The dating market I'm in is when things happen, it will. When it's supposed to, it will happen. Am I gonna go out there and wine and dine a woman and call her every day and text her and and tell her my life story? No. Should you have to go do that? Some women may say yes. Some men may say yes. I said, I'm not doing it. We may screw on the first date. We may not screw for 1 year, 2 years. We may never screw. We may just hang out. Am I right or am I wrong? It's my life. I just think right now we put too much emphasis on toxicity. I just think, just the conversation of what dating should be. And I'm part of the problem because I've made everything in the world, an issue in these debates that we've had. But, as I get older, I like having the conversations. But I do tell anybody at the end of the day, man, live your fucking life. You know what I mean? Don't get caught up in a conversation because somebody living a life that you're not doing what you think you should be doing. Like, some people might say, well, you should be married, or you should be dating somebody right now, or you should be doing it. Who the fuck are you to tell me what I should be doing? I don't get that anymore. Like, I can't tell a women when I'm talking to them, when I'm looking at their life, whether it's to my liking or not my liking, I stopped giving advice. I used to do that. Like when I'm dating, you like a woman would say, well, they're trying to help you out, or a man trying to help a woman out. I don't do none of that shit no more. The women that I talk to, I accept them for exactly what the fuck they are. I either like it or I don't. But I'm not finna try to make you better. I'm not finna try to be an asset, or I definitely gonna be no liability, but I'm not finna try to be an asset to you. I'm gonna accept you for where you are. I'm gonna see what it is. And if I can deal with it on your good day and bad days where you are, cool. If I can't, we don't work. Hey, Lisa, how's it going? So, kudos to Tracy for saying that. And anybody mad at her, man, hey, tell them to kick rocks, Tracy. You fine as hell, go date them young boys. That just means I ain't got a chance with it, that's all.
I do.
You do. Go get it.
I holla at Tracy. My girlfriends.
She's fine too.
We done for the show?
I'm good.
That was the topic, but I mean,
I have nothing. I mean, I see everybody was saying hello family. A lot of people saying roses to the conversation. Bridget says she agreed with me on that one. Shar says exactly. Kimberly says expectations are different for now. Yeah, I just think y'all when it comes to dating, it's a lot of emphasis put on a lot of bullshit. Like, don't we know what we like? I think what I've seen, a lot of people don't know what the fuck they like, and they experiment in relationships. Would you agree or disagree with that? I'll say I think people like what they like, but I think people get in a relationship and they experiment, trying to figure out what they like and don't like.
They do.
You know what I mean? And I think that's part of the problem.
Why is that part of the problem?
Because if you experiment, you should tell a person, I really don't know what I'm looking for, but we can try this.
No, neither one of y'all know what y'all looking for if y'all just dating.
Okay.
Neither one.
Okay.
Because you don't know what that look like. Even if you got an idea of it, you don't know what it look like for them. So that's I don't think the experiment part is the problem. I think
the expectations. I think the expectation is more the problem, because people don't want to put the time and waste their. People say waste time. I don't think you're wasting time if you choose wisely.
I agree. I also think motives. I think a lot of folks have specific motives on what they want out of this, or what they want out of making a relationship. I think the slick parts about it and hiding the expectations is where it gets muddy. Because you can have a motive for certain type of things on what you want this relationship to go to, or how much accessibility you want to get out of her or him without saying it, and you can hide that behind the expectation.
But I think what if you did this here? You operate from the worst case scenario and see what happens.
I'm with you. Most folks will say we pessimistic, but I'm with you.
I mean, but you operate from the worst case scenario and see what happens, right? Because you're not going to get disappointed. You don't expect much out of it, and you put in what you feel that you're not going to lose, and she should do the same. Because I think sometimes we put in too much in the beginning, trying to prove to somebody that you're that person or what you want and trying to show them. Time will show everything. That first dinner that you paid $100 for, $300 for, is not going to change that 1,000 dinner later on that you only paid $50 for. You see what I'm saying? You're not going to even remember the goddamn the first dinner you probably had with somebody.
I haven't interacted with nobody that put a lot in on the first time. I know I don't, but I haven't interacted with anybody that puts a lot in on the first time.
But see, you can put I look at when I'm around somebody. It's the small things. I say this all the time. It's the small things you put in. That's a lot for me.
Like what?
Effort.
What's the small thing?
Just effort. Somebody who, when you're sitting down with this person, they get it. They just get it. You know what I'm saying? With the conversations, they know where to pick up the conversation, right? With the ambience where you guys are, they know how to dive into it. They know how to dive in and pick you up and accelerate you a little bit in that conversation and stimulate the conversation a little bit more, right? The man knows how to do it, and the grown woman knows how to do it. When you sit down at this stage of life for me, when you sit down with a grown woman and a grown man, they can stimulate each other in a conversation, right? And that is some of the most sexiest shit in the damn world, right? And this is not no trying to impress, but they just know how to pull the conversation, right? And they're the little small things of when the man make a move, y'all may not even know each other, but she know how to move just like a ballet dance, right? When he moves, she moves, right? When she moves, he moves. Whether with the glass, whether it's with the fork, whether it's with the conversation, right? You know what I'm saying? Whether it's with the walk. And only people that's grown as fuck understand what the hell I'm talking about, right? But those are the sexiest things and the most expensive things in the beginning to people that are mature, men and women that know what the hell I'm talking about, because we're not looking at the price tag. Because a person that has it already know and understand that woman financial status or that man financial status. They're not even looking at that anymore. They're looking at that small stuff. And like I said, it's from the fork to the spoon to the movement of the glass to the movement. You know what I'm saying? The conversation. You both know how to do the ballet dance within that whole time y'all sitting there talking, right? And it's nobody waiting on anybody, right? It's like tongue kissing for the first time. Your tongues know how to operate together in sequence. That's how two mature people know when two mature people met, because they done been through something and they understand it. They're not sitting here waiting to see what you're going to do. Men and women that want something or understand something, they're not sitting here looking at, I'm not finna waste my time, I'm going to sit here and wait. No, they do them because that's what they do. You know what I'm saying? They're not trying to look for the red flag or whatever. They just fucking do it. And it's not a waste of time, because if it's a waste of time, why the fuck am I here? Those are the conversations that you see. You can be young or old that mature people have. And they will never say that person wasted my time, because they vetted them out a whole lot more. They vetted them before they even got to the conversation.
I disagree with that.
Huh?
Half of the time, they be the main ones that say they waste their time.
I have never been with a woman at this stage, bro, where I am now, that I can say she wasted my time.
You can't say that. I said half of them still be the same ones that say that.
I don't
just
think
go
so,
about it, moving. Hey, this is how it is. This is how I move. Period. And they get all into it, or they put all into it, and now they comparing with how much the other did.
But we're talking about two different. Oh,
but you said they are the same ones that do go past and they ignore the signs or the flags or whatever. You did say that. You did.
No, but you're taking it in the wrong context. I'm saying, if I pour you a glass of wine, I go buy a bottle of wine, you buy me a bottle of wine. I'm not saying, if I see something bad about you, I wasted my time. You misled me. That's just part of it. That's part of it. That's what we do. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
Half of y'all still do the same thing.
Bro, I'm talking about the people that I deal with. Okay, I can't tell about what other folks jumping on that bullshit. I'm saying at the end of the day, there are people in this world that go through the whole 9 yards and can do the ballet dance with somebody and don't feel like it was a waste of time or somebody bullshitted them.
I got you.
Right.
And the same people can be the same ones.
I don't think so, nephew.
I do. Because that applied to so many. We even had a few conversations or a few topics of the same people that move just like that.
Okay, you keep talking. See, people keep bringing it. I'm talking about the positivity.
Topics.
I know, but I'm talking about the negative is always going to be the negative, right? But people don't realize that there are certain things that happen in relationships, right? Or when people date, that maybe they're not equally yoked, but it was great spending time with them, right? It wasn't toxic. It wasn't bad. It wasn't waste of time. But you just see, maybe that person a little bit too busy, or you too busy, or y'all just don't see eye to eye on certain things. But it's not a bad time. Y'all probably just better off as friends, but it wasn't a waste of time. That's what I'm talking about. Everything ain't always bad. Everything ain't always negative or got some negative viewpoint behind. That's all I'm saying. There are some things that you can do in the dating life that just may not work out, and that's okay.
Some things.
Yes, I'm just saying, but most times, bro, in dating worlds right now, I don't look at if it didn't work out that was bad. Or if I did something, I spent money, I wasted my time on it. No, I'm not going to do anything anymore at this stage of my life that I don't want. I'm not going to spend money on something that I feel that's going to be a waste of my money or a waste of my time. I just won't do it.
Okay. But even taking that approach, that would mean that some did before.
But that's what I'm saying. Like I said, at this stage of my life, you know now. Pour into your glass what you want to fucking drink and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? Be satisfied. I am satisfied if I pour this out and it don't come back to me. I'm okay with it. You see what I'm saying? If I go and pour into something 4 or 5 times with different people and it don't work out, I am perfectly 1,000% okay with that. Because number one, I'm going to choose the person I want to pour it out with. And if I chose wrong, I would say, okay, I'll choose better next time. It had nothing to do with that person. It had nothing to do with me. I need to make better choices. So I poured this out. I went into it 110. Didn't work out. Okay, I sit back and analyze what I did, what I didn't do right, or what I was looking for. I go back and do it again. If I do that 10 times, bro, I'm okay. I'm getting better each and every time. That's different than looking at the dating world, women that did it. No, you need to choose better. You need to do better. And if you do better, eventually, you probably will find the one that y'all can do that ballet dance together, and it takes you on into whatever it takes you on into. I just don't think everything was.
It's a nice perspective,
and I live on that. I live on that because the other part of it is you will always look for the negative, and you will live there because on anything that you do, you can find something negative easily to run away from, and that's why I think most people tremble or their issues start from. Right. I go in everything with a positive feel to it. Everything's gonna be positive for me. And even if it's not, I'm gonna do my best to end it on the highest note as possible. And I will let them know, something, we probably not gonna be the best, but let me give you a hug, baby girl. Love you, wish you the best. Let's keep it moving. It was a great night. Yeah. Choose better.
Okie dokie.
All right, guys. Y'all know we're out tomorrow, but Wednesday, I have the one and only Tracy Daniels, O'Neal Daniels. She will be on the show. She's a best-selling author.
Tracy Ellis Ross getting on here. That's crazy.
That'd have been cool. Hey, don't think that I won't be able to get her maybe upon one day. But Tracy O'Neal will be on the show. She's a best-selling author. She's been through a lot in her life, and we're gonna be telling her story on Coffee and Conversations. Y'all tune in live on the LIM networks, or if you guys in Birmingham, Alabama, come on down to Filter Coffee Parlor and holler at your boy. And coffee on me that morning if y'all got time. So thank you guys for tuning in today. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. I love you guys, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Good night, baby.